8. The third relevant sutra of the 8th chapter, the Mallika Sutra. This story originates in Shrivasti. At that time, King Pasenadi of Kosala was on the top floor of the palace with Queen Mallika. King Pasenadi of Kosala asked Queen Mallika, "Mallika, is there anyone you love more than yourself?" Mallika replied, "Great king, there is no one I love more than myself." "What about you, great king? Is there anyone you love more than yourself?" The king answered, "Mallika, for me too, there is no one I love more than myself." Then King Pasenadi of Kosala came down from the palace and went to where the Blessed One, Buddha, was. Upon arrival, he paid respects to the Blessed One and sat to one side. After sitting down, King Pasenadi of Kosala said to the Blessed One, "Venerable Sir, just now, when I was on the top floor of the palace with Queen Mallika, I asked her, 'Mallika, is there anyone you love more than yourself?' Venerable Sir, Mallika answered me like this, 'Great king, there is no one I love more than myself.' What about you, great king? Is there anyone you love more than yourself?" Venerable Sir, after hearing this, I answered Mallika like this, "Mallika, for me too, there is no one I love more than myself." Then the Blessed One, understanding the meaning of this matter, spoke this verse at that moment. Even if one were to search in all directions, one would not find anyone more beloved than oneself. Similarly, each person holds themselves most dear. Therefore, one who loves oneself should not harm others. This article comes from a Buddhist scripture and tells a story that took place in ancient Shrivasti, India. The main characters are King Pasenadi of Kosala, his queen Mallika, and the Buddha, the Blessed One. Let's analyze the content and meaning of this story in depth. 1. Story background. The story takes place in ancient Shrivasti, India, ruled by King Pasenadi of Kosala. This provides us with a historical and cultural context, letting us understand that this story occurred at a specific time and place. 2. Dialogue between the king and queen. On the top floor of the palace, the king asks the queen if there's anyone she loves more than herself. The queen answers no and asks the king the same question. The king gives the same answer. This dialogue reveals a profound truth about human nature. Self-love is one of the most fundamental human emotions. 3. The king seeks advice from the Buddha. Not satisfied with this simple conclusion, the king decides to consult the Buddha. This shows that the king is a leader who thirsts for knowledge and is willing to learn from the wise. 4. The Buddha's response. After hearing the king's narrative, the Buddha responds with a meaningful verse. This verse contains one of the core teachings of Buddhism, compassion. 5. Analysis of the verse. Even if one were to search in all directions, one would not find anyone more beloved than oneself. This line affirms the universality and fundamentality of self-love. Similarly, each person holds themselves most dear. This line reminds us that everyone cherishes themselves just as we do. Therefore, one who loves oneself should not harm others. This is the Buddha's core teaching, to treat others as you would want to be treated. This story inspires us to ponder several profound questions. 1. Balance between self-love and altruism. How can we cherish ourselves while also caring for others? This is a topic we need to explore throughout our lives. 2. The power of empathy. Can understanding and accepting the fact that everyone cherishes themselves help us better understand others and reduce conflicts? 3. The wisdom of leaders. Although the king is the ruler of a country, he is willing to seek advice from the Buddha. This reminds us that true wisdom comes from humility and continuous learning. 4. The nature of love. This story makes us think about what true love is. Is it just loving oneself or extending love to others? 5. The foundation of social harmony. What would our society be like if everyone followed the principle of not harming others? This short but profound story acts as a mirror, reflecting the essence of human nature and the foundation of social harmony. It reminds us that true wisdom lies not only in understanding ourselves, but also in extending this understanding to others. When we realize that everyone cherishes themselves just as we do, we can begin to build a more harmonious and compassionate world. This story invites us to reflect. How can we consider the well-being of others while pursuing our personal interests? In our daily lives, can we always remember this simple yet profound truth and treat everyone with empathy? Perhaps it is through such self-reflection and practice that we can truly open the door to wisdom and create a better world.